Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I am here to talk about Milwordy and whether or not I am participating. So if you have no idea what Milwordy is, it's essentially a year-long challenge in which you intend to write 1,000,000 words in 1 year. This has been around for a few years, but now it's going around on AuthorTube and a lot of AuthorTubers are participating, a lot of whom have started in September and will then run through August next year. Some people are starting in October, some in November, some on January 1st, and some people are not doing it at all, which is of course totally fine. So, short answer to the question, am I participating? No. No. Now, I like writing experiments. I do. I've made a few, I'm gonna keep doing more. I have written a book in a week. I'm gonna intend to write a book in a day coming up on November 1st, more info down below. I've done a few 10k days, 15k days, that sort of thing. And I am intending, hopefully, if things go well and I can figure out the problems with my siren story, to write the second draft in 2 weeks. So I like me a challenge and an experiment, but I will not be doing Milwordy. There are several reasons for why not, and I think the first one I'm going to mention is the fact that I am a very inconsistent writer. If you've been around here on this channel for a while, you might know that I write in bursts. I do NaNoWriMo in November, and then I don't write anything until Camp April in April, and then I don't write anything until Camp July, and that's it. Essentially, I've gotten a bit better at that, at actually writing, you know, more consistently and at more times throughout the year, but I essentially get a burst of inspiration, motivation, excitement, and I sit down and I write a book in a week or in a month, and then I don't look at it, I don't reread it, I don't touch it, I don't keep thinking about it, I lose all of my interest in that story, don't write for a few months, get excited for a new project, and then write that, and then just repeat the process. And that is not good enough. Now, I don't want to say that anyone is better than anyone else, of course not, but for me to sit down and say that yes, I'm gonna do Milwordy would mean a lot of stress for me since I write this way. And if I was more consistent and if I was putting out more writing consistently and every month and so on, maybe I would have a chance. Second reason is that I've actually gone back and looked at what I've been doing this year in terms of writing. Now, I haven't been great at tracking this year. I know there are things that I've written that I've just not tracked, but I'm sitting at like 130,000 words for the year, and that's just not enough. Now, again, I'm not saying you have to write a lot to be a good writer, and I'm not saying you have to do Milwordy to be a good writer. Of course not, but I can't sit down and look at the number of 130,000 words at the end of September, realize there are like a couple months left of the year, and then try to somehow, you know, multiply what I've done by like 10 or 9 for the following year, you know? And I know there are people who are doing like a half Milwordy or a quarter Milwordy, but I also can't do anything half-assed. So I would aim for the full Milwordy if I was doing it, and I really cannot see that working out right now. I know I cannot take my 130,000 words in 9 months and somehow up that and have, you know, no. Because you have to write like 83,000 words a month for Milwordy, like for 12 months in a row to hit the 1,000,000. I've written like just over that, not even twice that, in almost a year. And another reason I'm also not going to do it is because of my work situation. I am fortunate enough to have a full-time, long-term job, but it is not decided where I'm going to work. I have not been working from home during this whole pandemic that we're in, because that's not been something that I've been offered from my job, but I do have 2 different workplaces. One is a 10-minute walk from where I live. It's 10 minutes there and it's 10 minutes home, and that's it. The other one is 2 hours door to door each way, which means on the days I go there, I spend about 4 hours commuting every single day. I commute by train and bus, so I could bring a laptop and work on the train or the bus. but I opted out of doing that because it just gets too heavy and too bulky and just uncomfortable, and that's entirely on me. But no. As it is right now, I commute for 2 days a week and I work closer to home 3 days a week, but that might very well change in November, and whether or not it does, it might still change next year, and it might change more than once, which if I was to sit down and make a plan that on the days that I commute, which say that's 2 days a week, I don't write, but then I try to, for the remainder of the week, the next 5 days, you know, break down the 83k. You get what I mean. If I, you know, break it down into how much I have to do a day, and then suddenly my work schedule changes and I have to go in 4 days a week or even 5 days a week, that means I only really have 2 days a week that I am comfortable and have the energy to write, and that is a lot of words in not a lot of time. So short answer, no, I am not doing Milwordy this year. Sort of. Like I said before, I struggle doing anything half-assed if I give myself a goal. Now, I've given myself plenty of goals at the beginning of this year that I just have not completed. Maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. But when I give myself certain goals, certain writing goals in particular, just not the goals I gave myself at the beginning of this year, because I don't know what happened with those and I don't even remember what they were, so, you know. But when I give myself certain goals, I cannot not do it. And sometimes that goes out over other things. Sleep, recovery time, seeing other people, you know, certain household chores. And I don't want to do that for a year. So what my plan is for 2021, you know, if the world doesn't end, yeah, my goal is to be better at the tracking. I'm going to talk more about that probably at the, you know, end of year, beginning of next year. Be better at tracking, because right now I've tracked 130,000. I might have written more. I think I've written a little bit more, probably not a lot. But be better at the tracking, because then I can definitely see the stats. And hopefully at the end of next year, maybe I'm close to 250 or 500 and could do a, you know, a quarter Milwordy or a half Milwordy in 2022, maybe, even though I would want to go for the full Milwordy because I have problems. But with all this also comes the thing of like, if I'm going to get better at tracking, if I'm going to dedicate more time to tracking or like make sure to do it, I am also going to try to force myself to write more, which is something I want to do. I want to write more, but my struggle, like I mentioned before, is the inconsistency, and like I suddenly don't feel like writing for 3 months and then I don't do it, and I don't like forcing it if I don't have anything I'm excited about. So that's something I'm probably gonna have to work on, but I hope to write more and therefore track more and therefore see if I could do a Milwordy or a half Milwordy or a quarter Milwordy down the road. But I also know that with this I'm gonna have Milwordy at the back of my mind throughout all this and maybe not be able to stop myself. Now again, I really don't think I will be writing 1,000,000 words next year without planning for it, and I'm not planning for it. But if I feel myself getting close to 500,000 or 250,000, maybe that will give me the push I need to pass that sort of goal line, finish line, even though I'm not intentionally aiming for it. I'm just subconsciously aiming for it while being aware of it. Welcome to how my brain works. With all this being said though, I am really excited to be following along on other people's Milwordy journeys. Marcus is doing it, so I'm gonna have, you know, not first-hand experience, but second-hand experience with it. And I'm excited to see how other people do. And I'm probably gonna be a little bit jealous at people who are doing it when it's going well, and less jealous when it's not going well. Ideally, I would like to do a Milwordy down the line. I think it sounds really cool, really fun, really challenging, which I like me a challenge. But right now is not the time for that, and I don't see myself doing it next year for sure, and maybe not for a few more years into the future either. But that is it for this video. I would love to hear down below if you're participating in Milwordy or not, and what your reasoning for whether or not you're doing it is. So feel free to put that in the comments down below, and I will be back with another video soon, so I will see you then. Bye!